Don't give me coffee. Hoodwinked is a 2005 animated musical comedy film directed by Cory Edwards and written by It was produced independently by Blue Yonder Films with Kanbar Entertainment and distributed by the Weinstein Company. The film was released by the Weinstein Company in December of 2005 and then nationwide in January of 2006. The film was a commercial success. It has a $8 million budget, though most major websites still list it as $30 million. The director Cory has come out to clear the air about this, and the movie racked in $110 million. So hey, Hoodwinked is a little different from the usual films I review. I chose this one because, well, there were only 3 movies in my life I watched every day for over a year on my portable DVD player as a child in my dad's office in the family business. It was this, Toy Story 1, and Season 1, This 2 of SpongeBob. No major studio allowed the filmmakers greater creative control here, but with no studio means a low budget. So the animation was outsourced to the Philippines, in which they had no idea how CG worked at all. They didn't fully use their talent, and they had them work on certain aspects of the film and motions.
So we get a studio of artists together for this movie in the Philippines. The interesting thing is that they speak English, or we would sit there and we would discuss what a double take is. For those of you at home, here's the double take. I can do a triple take if you'd like.
It's not the most flattering movement, but well, we'll get to those parts during the review. And when I say this was low budget, I mean it. A lot of the production was made in everyone's homes, on their computers, and it is a trip.
Once upon a time, there were a bunch of filmmakers who just wanted to make something and pay their bill. No, my brother Todd called me up one day where he said, what if we did it like one of these crime movies where they retell the story over and over from different perspectives? We did a lot of research and we found out there is a universal telling that most people agree on.
And the Weinstein Company did not fully sign as the film's distributors until the very near end of production. But there was also a big change in the cast to kind of put more big name roles as the main leads. Because originally, the director just had friends and family voice all the characters. So they basically just wiped out the original cast for this movie. And the director, Cory Edwards, was all over this film. It's basically his baby. I'll let him explain.
We did not approach Hoodwinked as a kid's film. As grown men writing this thing, we said, what movie would we make that we would find entertaining?
And Red Riding Hood, to me, just seemed like the most basic fairy tale that everyone around the world knows. Necessarily animation guys. I mean, I've had a little experience in animation before this. I don't know if you've had any.
I haven't had a lot.
There's still also plenty more to go at the end. The cast will be revealed as we introduce them in the movie. So I think that's everything. So let us begin. All right, open shot. Bach Films, that company, Kanbar Company. The film starts off like, any old Red Hood tale. You got Granny's home, the wolf go purr, all the basics. But to the wolf's dismay, she's a smart Riding Hood. I think it's a good time to introduce our 2 mains here. Red Riding Hood, played by Anne Hathaway.
Obviously such a classic fairy tale, but I just thought it was such a smart, funny take on it, and I thought that I really wanted to do it.
Who I had a huge crush on as a child. And the big bad wolf, is that the official name? Played by fucking Patrick Warburton.
Patrick Warburton from Seinfeld.
This wolf is an investigative reporter, and he is investigating a story, and he sees himself as Fletch.
Are we just gonna sit around here and talk about how big I'm getting?
The wolf is a very cool character.
Old people just have big ears, dear.
This man went on a legendary run in the 2000s.
Granny, what bad breath you have.
All right.
Ah! You again?
It's not his first rodeo, it seems. Granny's gotten away in the past, I guess. So immediately, not even 3 minutes in, they introduce the twist with fucking Granny coming out of the closet, random woodman crashing through the window, acting crazy. The CG's really distracting, huh? Hoodwinked! Private Eye. Let's go on an investigation. Ooh, so we got the animal cops just walking weird. Our head police here, Chief Grizzly, played by fucking Xzibit.
It seems as though people
think my voice sounds like a bear anyway. At first, I was just using my regular voice. Later on, as the scenes got more intense, I got more comfortable with the voice. I just took it down a little, put a growl into it, and
Quit playing around, Wolf. I could have made roll pizza out of you, kid.
I think he just sounds like himself. Also, stuff like this happens all the time in the woods. It's business as usual here. It's time to interrogate. This movie just shift tones right away.
All right, get a muzzle on that guy.
Hey, I can explain everything.
Shouldn't you be in school?
Shouldn't I have a lawyer?
So Grizzly Xzibit here thinks the case is cut and closed here with the usual story until he gets interrupted by Detective Nicky Flippers.
Hey, Nicky! Hi, you on the case, Nick? No, just stopping by to have a sarsaparilla.
He's played by David Stiers.
I play in this film a frog detective named Nicky Flippers. There isn't a lot of strict peace officer training in the forest.
I trust his voice. So the entire opening 5 minutes of this film is just setting up for the 4-story perspectives we are about to embark on here. I feel like I'm doing episodes of a TV show again.
Well, the uniqueness of this film is that it starts in the end.
So Red Riding Hood is up first so we can get her side of the story.
What's with the handcuffs on a little girl? Her wrists slip right out. How about a cane?
Bring in the cane!
So our first song in this movie's filled with them. Great Big World, sung by Anne Hathaway. When I was younger, I really enjoyed this song, but now that I'm older, it's all right. She runs into Boingo the rabbit, played by fucking Andy Dick.
That's what I am. I'm just a cuddly little fuzzy snuggly bunny too.
Bunch of other freaks. And these beautiful animations done by people called animationists. That's an industry term.
Well, he's very charismatic, huh?
Why, thanks, Red. I can always count on you to deliver, you little rascally devil.
We talk about a recipe bandit on the loose in the woods. He's taking wood animals out of business. It's taking a huge hit to the economy. Maybe Granny knows what to do about this. Keep in mind, we've had like 2 songs played during this time. Granted, they were very short, but they sounded good. The Granny call goes nowhere. It's a rough world. Let's pause here for a second. Let's play a game. Can you find Red in this shot? It took me a while too. Yep, she's up there just talking to some woodpecker, who I'm pretty sure is just a baby voicing him.
I'm just a woodpecker. Uh-oh.
They overhear glass shattering and go to find a rock that says, "You're next." Listen, this stuff was spooky for kids, guys. All right, it's time to find the recipe bandit. We're on a cable car, right? They got cable cars here in the woods, wherever they are. Inconspicuous Boingo just happens to be with her. A fucking cable car door opens and she falls out. Shit, who could have done that? No! Must have been a weak door. She lands safely on some leaves on her way down that just broke her fall. No scratches. She just happens to land next to the Wolfie. Their conversation really doesn't go anywhere.
Hello.
So, you're the little girl in the red hood. That was quite a bit of following you did just now.
She sprays him with some wolf spray. Always got to carry that shit on you. She ends up chasing him into the water, which I can see where the budget went here. Damn, it wasn't the animation. It was this fucking beautiful liquid. Look at that. That's better than most movies nowadays. So on her merry way, she runs into Mr. Goat or some shit. There's a witch put a spell on him or something.
Japheth the goat. Japheth. I'll pronounce it for everyone. We wrote this with a friend of ours in mind, Benji Gaither, and he ended up doing the part. And then just the fact that he is, he had a spell put on him where he has to sing everything he says.
Now he yodels for his speech. There's a fourth wall moment here. He lets her make a call to Granny, who has a cell phone. She seems to be in the middle of some action. What could that be?
Granny! Granny, what's wrong?
Gotta go, Munchkin.
Remember this scene, it'll be important later. Also, small note, look how she ends the call and turns around.
Mr. Goat? Mr. Goat?
It was their first time. So Mr. Goat here, won't lie, he sings a pretty lengthy song. I think it's called Be Prepared, and honestly, this yodel kind of slaps.
You got to live alone. That's why I made this mountain shack my home.
That's great. Can you just
when you're on the mountain.
He takes her ass on a minecart coaster. I'm assuming he built this. The song just gets better. They launch into the sky. I feel like this is just Cory Edwards' weird fever trip going on here.
Granny?
Use the hood, Red.
Remember that for later, because she's not imagining here. So she followed her advice, lands conveniently in front of the granny house, which basically leads up to the beginning of the film here. Walking into the woods, what big hands, what big teeth, big dick you got, the usual. But of course, her version of the story does not cover why the woodsman has crashed into the house. But I'm sure we'll have a reason for that later. And that's Red's version of the story. Sounds convincing enough to me. Let's bring in the wolf.
Don't I get a drink?
No.
This is gonna be a good one. Small note again, the camera work sometimes in this is, well, iffy.
Long walks and fresh flowers.
Quit playing around, Wolf. You're looking at 3 to 5 and an old shoe with...
My thought is someone was just kind of moving their mouse camera around as if it was actually being filmed. It just comes off a little weird. So before his story even starts, he says that he's actually an investigative journalist. That's right. Listen, didn't see that coming.
Animated, certainly. They did a lovely job on his fur. And I want you to notice that when you see the film. It's just really nice fur. Yeah, and his claws are really, well, they're spectacular.
So here's one of his articles. Let's pause here and admire his work. The paper's called Once Upon a Time. Very clever. They even got the weather, which I've never even seen it written like that, huh? Facts and Fairy Tales by the... Oh, here's his full name. Wolf W. Wolf. Here he is undercover playing b-ball with some critters. This is their first time. There's also some guy who just owns a shop, middle of the woods. He dresses up too. I'm assuming he sells to the animals there in his little zebra costume. Maybe he likes to blend in. Maybe he wants to be a zebra. Who knows? Let's move on. W. Wolf runs into, let's say, his sidekick named Twitchy the squirrel.
She went past the porcupines and the redbird's tree and the guy with the long beard, and now she's up the creek.
Played by the director of the film. Cory loves this, huh?
Okay, this is like when he's high on coffee, basically. Woo! Hey! Once we speeded my voice up to 150%, it became like this music.
So he's just kind of around now. Let's get some info about the Red and the family business from the greaser sheep. So he knows how to follow the cable car. Just kidding, she falls out of the cable car. Oh shit, that happened earlier. So he chases her. We went over this part during Red's side, except he caught up to her via taxi.
Whoa, that was her. We passed her. Right here's fine.
Speedy service. He ends up falling for one of her tricks, literally. He takes directions from Rabbit, who just shows up out of nowhere in the second story again, almost as if he's watching. He writes some directions on an egg, which leads them into a sewer with evil monsters that we never see, and they end up running into the minecart track when Red's on it. Talk about a full circle.
Living like a bandit.
The chase is on. They light some dynamite, which you would think would have caused this avalanche from Red's perspective in the first story, but it doesn't. It just blows out the bridge, which they end up launching into the air. So continuity is good.
Did all of my own stunts. They'd brought in a guy, but we didn't use him. I did them all.
And now we're at Granny's house. Literally immediately, Granny also sells merch of herself. So that's where the Wolf W. Wolf got his disguise. Don't ask too many questions, guys. But a final note in the Wolf story I want to add is Granny was already tied up in the closet before he arrived. That'll be important. Here's a family photo of Wolfie. Raised by wolves, it says, huh? It's time for the next witness, the woodsman.
No, I would not hurt a butterfly. Then what's this? A letter opener?
Now, the woodsman backstory is a little interesting. Now, he's an inspiring actor that's auditioning for a role as a woodsman while also being a woodsman.
He's actually a wannabe actor. And he was out there being a woodsman practicing to do a commercial about being a woodsman.
But his true dream is to travel the world with his band, yodeling. I didn't say this was a simple story. So real quick, he's played by Jim Belushi, which is John Belushi's younger brother.
to re-examine the crime scene and interviewing people, and it was very hip, very funny.
I just found that interesting. So he sells schnitzels to the force kids. I don't really know the economy here, and well, to be honest with you, I don't think I want to. So he comes back after his little stroll through the woods to find out that he got schnitzeled. Damn, another case of the recipe bandit. Boingo just happens to be there again, totally not looking sus at all.
Someday somebody will open up a great big goodie shop and we can all work for that little guy.
Oh, yeah. What?
Is Boingo talking about capitalism in my kid's film? Does he want to be a CEO? Mid-convo, bro gets a callback from his audition.
I had always heard about callbacks, but I had never gotten one.
He tells him, practice your inner woodsman and come back tomorrow. So a quick little axe montage later here. He stumbles across the big one. He spends basically all day kind of working on this one tree. So this is kind of like his whole perspective is just fucking cutting a tree. It's also conveniently placed next to Granny's house. I wonder where this is going. So he's kind of useless to this story so far, which means everything leads back to Granny. Bring her out.
I didn't want them to find out.
Find out what?
Yeah. What?
I'm not like other grannies. I'd rather live life to the extreme.
This is gonna be a good one, huh?
The fame and the pain that she brings, next and next, you know she gets.
Immediate BMX Granny. She does every sport imaginable. She's on her way to the extreme dream sports. This crowd makes me nauseous. I just realized I still haven't introduced Granny yet. What am I doing? Damn. She's played by Glenn Close.
I immediately said yes because I just thought it was really entertaining and very, very clever. Granny's not typical at all. She's highly athletic and very daring, and
she's out here kicking it with her homies before the game.
Oh, shizzle.
I got Glenn Close to say for shizzle.
This is a very strange production. So she runs into Boingo. He's just suspiciously in every story, huh? Now, isn't he? Now, it's time for their BMX race snowboard. There's like an evil ski team also competing. And there's this guy who just looks and sounds eerily similar to Arnold Schwarzenegger, who is their leader of the ski group. This is also the time Red calls Granny during her story.
Gotta go, Munchkin.
She locks the fuck in here. So she gets thrown off the cliff by him.
Who do you work for?
I can't tell you that.
Oh, the horror. Oh, oh no. Oh, she's fine. Just a little simple slingshot back up. And then after that, she just decides to throw dynamite that she casually just carries on her. And this is what caused the avalanche from Red's perspective. Not the wolf. I have just as many questions as you guys.
A cool way to just like springboard off and have all these different backstories. And so we started dreaming about what those backstories could be.
So she ends up winning the race anyway by a landslide, they say. She comes strapped, not gonna lie. This also caused her to lose her extreme gear. It's wild, I know. Which leads us into her running into Red again. And then she flies home, and then we get this.
Guess it's just one of those days.
It speaks for itself. Well, we know what happens after this, so back to the present. Done with Granny's perspective. Red's pissed.
La vida loca, risking your life for some dumb thrills and be your happy little delivery girl?
Hi, have a coffee break, anyone?
Yeah.
So she doesn't want to be Red Riding Hood anymore. There's a sad song here where she kind of reflects. It's called Red is Blue, which when I heard the voice, I knew exactly who it was. It's Ben Folds. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. He's the guy that did some of the songs on Over the Hedge. So hey, we love Ben here. So back at the house, when everyone is occupied, we get, I can only assume, the recipe bandit in the act taking the basket. He's disguised as Red. I just wonder who it could be. Some finger pointing later.
I may lead a double life full of secrets and deception, but that's no reason to be suspicious.
A long line of puckets who wore hoods and delivered goodies.
Part where, she's going over the family history
Right.
of pucket women.
No one can seem to pinpoint the real bandit here. So back with the real bandit, he runs into the cable car with the evil skiers from earlier. What, would they work for him too?
It would seem there is another player, someone who's hippity-hopped his way through all of your stories.
Gasp, it couldn't be.
Not the bunny!
And then they all just kind of leave the crime scene unattended. Everyone inside to go look for the bunny. It happens all the time here. It's normal in the woods. They devise a plot, which boils down to giving the twitchy squirrel coffee.
Twitchy loves his coffee, but can't have coffee because he is just psycho crazy.
Didn't Over the Hedge also do the same shit with their squirrel? Did they not? Well, so that came out a year before this. I don't know. Companies had some weird things going on with squirrels back then, huh? I guess no one's ever taken the cable car to the very top of the mountain, because that's where the evil bunny lair is. Thank God no one ever found that before.
I'm never gonna answer to anyone ever again.
You're a bad bunny.
He beats the shit out of her. Then he breaks into song. It's called Top of the Woods, which honestly is kind of a catchy name. It's sung by, of course, Andy Rabbit. Pretty generic. So basically his evil plot to tell us at the end of the film is kind of wild. So he wants all the recipes, get this, to make children addicted to them, to make them fat, so he can make a shit ton of money to start building his corporation and take all the land. I think by explosive means for whatever reason. Money can't buy everything, but then he'll have everything. What a fucked up plan in my kid's film. Then he sends her off to die by explosives. It's lots of dynamite in this film, guys. I haven't even seen this much violence since 50s cartoons. And then he finally decides to wrap up his song.
You've been hoodwinked, baby!
He said the thing. Did you know hoodwink means to be deceived or tricked by someone? I didn't know 20 years ago.
The song was catchy, but the choreography was terrible.
They get into a fight with the Arnold ski guy. I mean, it could be shittier than this choreography. So back with the feds, they hit the director squirrel on his rampage. He tried to explain.
Hold on. He seems to be speaking words of some kind. Wait, hold on. He seems to be speaking words of some kind.
Hits humor on both levels, on the adult level and on you know, the child level.
So back with the Goon Squad, they got their disguises to go save Red. A really funny scene here with the wolf dressed as a health inspector. It's got some pretty good dialogue.
I'm more of a do-it-yourself kind of guy.
I understand. Are you thinking about putting in a laser?
I don't know.
But uh-oh, they got. Gig is up. Evil Boingo sends Red to her doom. And Granny does what I can only say some greats could never live up to in their lifetimes. Wow. Look at that. Oh, JK, these guys can do it too. So coming up near the end of this film, the feds finally get the smart idea to slow the director Squirrel's voice down to understand him.
The criminal you're looking for cannot be found at the bottom of the mountain.
Oh shit, yeah, that's the director.
That's another funny thing, is that if Twitchy would just slow down, he would have this eloquent, the criminal you're looking for cannot be found. Like he would sound like a news anchor.
Did you know they use the music software Pro Tools to slow that down? Just found that interesting. So I guess by brute strength, Red manages to escape the trolley and gets rescued by Granny in a very realistic fashion. And then this happens. Did you know sticks of dynamite stay lit underwater because they have this kind of coating that allows them to keep going? The more you know. They escape in the air. Always trust the hood. And it's all fine and dandy. I do have one issue with the way that they are getting arrested, and it's right here. There you go. You see that right there? Yeah, that bothers me right there. Is the best we could do, huh? Happy endings. Gosh, we love those. They're forest heroes now. Everyone's friends now. Let's all meet up for coffee. Detective Flippers has a proposition for them all.
I was wondering if you'd like to come and work for me. I could use some fresh talent like you.
Happily ever after agencies. Sign me up. So everyone's in. Red signs us out. And by signing us out, she stares at the camera just a second longer than it should be.
Did like happy endings.
And that's Hoodwinked. directed by Cory Edwards. Critters Have Feelings is our credit song here. I don't really mind this one. All original music here. It's a really nice touch.
We made a decision that we would bring rock songs into it.
I'm a tree critter!
I probably wrote about 12 songs and about 9 of them stayed in the movie.
Because the other ones were terrible.
This is movie magic right here. This is where the movie magic happens. A lot of the songs for Hoodwinked were written right here in this beautiful room. Here's a story I hope you'll like. It's the one about the girl riding on her bike.
So some special thanks. I can't even speak. Some special thanks are in order here. And the last thing we see in the credits is this: please consume goodies responsibly, which I don't know what this means or why it was here or even what it's insinuating at. Who put this here? And we're done. What a film. So a little bit about the movie. At the time of Hoodwinked's production, the cost of computer animation software had only just recently decreased to a price to where, I guess, not as big studios could afford it.
It doesn't look totally computer animated, and it doesn't look totally drawn or ink. It is a combination of all three.
And Cory Edwards chose to kind of like approach the film as an action comedy, and he wrote the script to appeal to audiences of any age, to kind of like the old classic cartoons. It also came out during like the Shrek Mania hype, so it was hard for it to not be compared to that. They found that the most difficult aspects of producing the film independently was their inability to fix all the mistakes that were made. Edwards explains that, I quote, "It becomes an equation. I have 10 things that I would like to change in this shot. I have only the time and the budget to only get to do 3 fixes. So pick those 3 and let's move on." So we ended up traveling to the Philippines around 15 times over the course of the production of this film.
What makes Hoodwinked stand out from other animated films is not only the great graphics. I mean, it's just mind-boggling. And it's the great sense of humor.
A distribution offer was made by DreamWorks Pictures. It was turned down because the filmmakers did not feel that it was a good deal. And how did we run into the Weinsteins here? So, fun fact, it was screened at the Cannes Film Festival, and the Weinstein Bros were also at that same festival. They picked up Hoodwinked for distribution after it was brought to their attention by, get this, by the wife of one of their attorneys there. I don't know. The Weinsteins has recently left the Disney company, according to Cory Edwards, and they said to him, quote, they loved the idea of picking up an animated film and giving Disney a run for their money. Since the film's animation had already been mostly completed by the time they picked it up, all they really did was just kind of recast all of the main actors, just to, of course, they're more, bigger names to bring more people to the audiences. And so all those new actors had to re-record all the original lines basically the same way, with no opportunity to improvise. And finally, a sequel. That's right, a sequel called Hoodwinked 2, Hood vs. Evil, what a name, was released in 2011 to, of course, a gajillion negative reviews. Cory was not involved in this. It was outsourced. It was not a good movie.
Fun because it opens itself up to hopefully some sequels because they have formed this team.
The DVD has basics in there that I've been clipping in and out the whole time. And honestly, I think that's it. I'm done. I don't want to talk anymore. Thanks for joining me. Join me next time where I cover the next Disney, VHS, Disney, DreamWorks, butt fart sequel. Find out next time.
So now, Tony, I understand you have a bet going that if the movie actually hits $100 million, Cory's going to shave his head too?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Only it's going to use Nair. It's not going to be shaving. It's going to be like all chemical, which I think is safer and gets a better, gets it closer. So.
And I will dance in Times Square in my underwear.